when she, like, the girl hits her head, and then Cher, to make sure she's okay, goes, can you do this? Rolling with the homie.
I'm just gonna nod yes and...
Yeah, you've never seen Clueless,
just
have
pretend
you?
I've seen Clueless, even though I know Paul Rudd's in it.
Just for the record, the PowerPoint is named...
Paul Rudd looks the same.
The PowerPoint is named 99 MD.
Dude, Paul Rudd's almost 50 though, and he looks the same. It's insane.
I know.
I want to be Paul Rudd.
He literally looks the same. He's an attractive man.
Like, Robert Downey Jr. looks good for 50, but Paul Rudd looks even better.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cinema Gibberish.
That's our intro.
It's been a few weeks, but happy Thanksgiving! Or late Thanksgiving, whenever you see this.
It's going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, everybody. And we're talking
today
about...
is Tuesday. It goes up Wednesday.
Yes.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes.
Or today, if you're watching this.
Or yesterday.
Or whenever you're watching this.
Dr.
Maybe
Sleep.
the channel got big and people are just like looking back at old videos and we're making a fool of ourselves.
We must be asleep.
Yeah. I'm dreaming.
But we are talking about Dr. Sleep, a Stephen King adaptation from earlier this month, and it is directed by Mike Flanagan, a fairly newish type guy to the big blockbuster movies. One of the bigger movies he's directed is the second Ouija board movie. If any of you have seen this, I didn't see it either. But it has a pretty nice cast. It's got Ewan McGregor, yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. Rebecca Ferguson, and a newcomer, Kylie Coran.
Is that the girl?
Yes, I apologize if I
What was her name?
mispronounced
What was
it.
her name in the movie? Nobody remembers.
I mean, you saw this sooner than I did, so.
It was
It's
And
been
like more recently?
more
Is it
recently,
Beth?
sorry. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks since
I'm
I've
gonna
seen
say
this.
Beth.
That's not right.
Well,
but
her name is Beth.
her name is apparently Beth.
But let's just dip our toes into this. What did you guys think? Overall impressions. Whoever wants to go first, feel free.
Me? Oh God. Okay, we went to go see this in Muncie AMC. We saw it in the recliner, like one of the recliner theaters.
That is my home theater.
Which I bring a blanket to every movie I go to. Fun
Nice.
fact, because I always get cold. So I was sitting there, shoes off,
Yeah.
sitting there like this
Yeah.
through about half the movie.
I've heard some stories.
You have.
I have.
Yeah, it was traumatizing, but very good.
Yeah, did you have a good experience at least?
I very much enjoyed it.
Okay. Josh, what about you?
So there's, and this is non-spoiler still, but there's
Yes.
So there's an opening scene, then there's a title card, and then the first thing we see is that kid riding that freaking big wheel around the hotel, and I looked at Catherine
Awesome.
and I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna like this."
I don't know if it's a spoiler to describe that scene at all, but like,
I don't think so.
okay, yeah, when
Like
I was
clearly,
watching,
there's gonna be.
here's how good I
that's
think
in
that scene
the
is.
trailer, I think.
Here's what it is. When I was watching, I was like, oh, is this like taking out footage from The Shining?
Yeah.
But we find out
No,
it's
because
not.
the kid doesn't look anything like the other kid,
Yeah, that's true.
and
But
the mom
Listen to
doesn't look
mine.
anything like the mom because she has better teeth and they're not like.
And she
It's
doesn't
not the
do the
70s.
impression right.
yeah,
She does a very bad impression of the woman from The Shining. I don't know her name either.
well, the character's name is Wendy.
I know Wendy, but
Yeah.
like the actress before her that actually played Wendy,
I don't know her
she did
either.
not do her justice at all.
So I didn't really like it. If you haven't seen our Shining review, I didn't really like The Shining.
The Shining is a cinematic masterpiece.
And that's okay, but I didn't like it. And I didn't like this much either. I don't like The Shining, and I thought this movie took away from The Shining in a couple big areas
Okay.
that I wasn't a fan of. Anyone who they showed flashbacks of or whatever, only one of them was convincing enough for me to be okay with it.
Okay. I think.
And there were some good shots, like it's for the most part well made. I don't like a lot of the effects because they look cheap.
Okay.
But like it's well made and the cast is mostly good.
Yeah.
But I thought the story was kind of stupid and I didn't like it.
So I believe Beth's name is Abra Stone.
That's
Yes!
Yeah. If I'm pronouncing that right.
Abra, I think.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, it's Abra.
it. Spoons.
Spoons. I guess I'll just give my overall impressions. I was kind of surprised by this movie because, first of all, I guess I'll throw this out is I feel like The Shining is one of the movies that is just, it's tough to follow up in any way, shape, or form. At least for me and Kat, it is. Josh.
Absolutely.
No, but I get the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to think of another movie that's like you wouldn't want to touch it or anything like that. But it's hard for this one in particular because Stephen King hates the movie adaptation of The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, a lot of people really like the Shining, and Stanley Kubrick, in our opinion, made a really good movie.
Casablanca. You couldn't top Casablanca.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't think it's ever been touched, has it? Like
Nope.
no one's. There we go.
And it shouldn't be. It should stay like that, and it won't forever, but it should.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I say they make it Shia LaBeouf
I will.
and the girl from Pitch Perfect. Is that Rebel Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rebel Wilson.
And
I hate you.
they look like cats.
And
Look like cats.
make it directed by Michael Bay
Yes.
and
You've
Casablanca.
struck so many chords today.
I don't know her chords, so I'm just going based off of what
Michael
you said.
Bay. Michael Bay is a big chord for me. I hate
that's
that man.
fair enough. He's tampered a lot of beloved franchises.
No, and The Shining is a beloved movie, so it is hard to follow that up for a lot of people.
Yeah, and plus when you're trying to please not only Stephen King fans but also Stanley Kubrick fans, but the fact that like Stephen King,
Those don't mix in that area.
exactly. So I think Mike Flanagan did a pretty good job with balancing it. I will say that I feel like it leaned just a little bit more towards the Stephen King side more.
Which
than,
I'm here for because I am more a Stephen King fan.
I prefer Stanley Kubrick. I would have preferred to lean more into Stanley Kubrick's side.
I'm in the middle.
Josh
are-
is indifferent.
These are all metaphors for our political views.
God. Oh
I
God.
have no political view.
This is true. Josh is still indifferent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Actually, I don't really have any either, but whatever. We shouldn't
I'm
be
the
talking
only one
about
here
this.
with real moral opinions.
That's
No.
right. Boys will be boys.
Get out.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Let's do this. I'm ready. Let's just do a whole
No.
song. I'm ready.
This is too much for
No Chinese fire drills?
too much responsibility.
This is a
This
fun
is a
get back
mess.
to it. No, I'm having a good time. But I mean, what did you not like, Catherine?
I think the plot was so-so. I have not read the book, which
Fair,
I very
neither
much
have I.
want to do, but I have not read the book. From what I took from the movie, I was more into, kind of the subplots,
Yeah.
which weren't really followed up, didn't really
I have to remember.
have an effect on why it's called Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
I was.
That kind of thing, I was really into.
We talked about that.
We talked
earlier.
about that downstairs. I was complaining. I was like, I don't think this movie should be called Doctor Sleep at all.
It shouldn't be called
I
that
think
because
this should be called The Shining, and then the first one should be called like The Overlook or just something else.
Yeah.
Because those movies, they're just mistitled.
Jack Nicholson, he's got an axe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't love any of the flashback scenes.
Really?
Mostly because the actors were not accurate.
It
Okay.
takes
I
you out
don't
of it.
I just don't think that anybody can live up to the portrayal that was the original Shining.
Fair enough.
So then having different actors and instead of putting your budget towards like making those actors look more like the actual originals,
I suggested de-aging.
like that type of thing, it, like you said, it takes you out of the movie. It because like
And I wasn't even invested, so if it
there
took
was
me
one
out,
of them. There was one of them that I genuinely had to look over to Josh and be like, "That's not him," and it's a terrible version of him,
Okay.
and I don't like it.
I have ideas how to fix that more in depth in spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of spoiler things that.
I
We're
have one
probably
more
gonna cover.
dislike.
Yep. Go ahead.
I talked to you about this a few minutes ago. The
Yeah.
score,
Yes.
it does the horror movie thing where it revs you up
I was here
and
for the
builds
score.
the anticipation for nothing, and that angers me.
I don't quite remember the score, so I.
I was
When it
not
wasn't
mad at the
doing
score.
that, I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But there were several
See, I
moments
don't mind that.
where it was like revving you up and trying to get you to do something, and when I wasn't feeling anything anyway, it made me angry.
Fair enough.
I wasn't mad about it.
Okay. Different opinions, and that's okay.
Is it?
I think so. It's totally fine. It's
We're on
art.
the internet, so no, it's not. But
Exactly.
it
Right.
should be, yes.
It's one way or another. It's not
Mhm.
one thing, it's your mother. What I don't like about this movie is it's not ambiguous whatsoever. Unlike The Shining, it very much tells you everything.
That's why I said I think it takes away from The Shining in a lot of ways.
I figured we would agree on that. Yeah, there's so you won't find a documentary called Room 237 or whatever it's called, based on just trying to explain what this movie's about, because it tells you. It's a pretty
It's very
flat line,
standard.
A to B.
Yeah.
Nothing hidden or really. But aside from that, let's just jump into what we like about this movie. Josh, I'm gonna let you go first.
There were some good shots.
Yes.
When there's a shot that's filmed with the helicopter and you can't see the helicopter shadow this time.
I was looking for
That's
that
what
when
I
that
said.
shot came up. I was like, I'm
I said,
thinking of Josh,
you can't
where's
see the
the
helicopter this time. It's overcast.
Yep.
I like I like some of the actors in this movie. Guy from The Meg was really good, who is Ewan McGregor's friend. He was in The Meg.
He was awesome.
I liked him a lot. And yeah, I'm indifferent about this. I don't have much other than that.
Fair enough. Can they hear the rain? By the way?
Maybe. I like Rebecca Ferguson's hat. There it is.
I like Rebecca Ferguson in this in general. She was really
I
good.
didn't,
She
but I liked
did
her
very
hat.
well. I liked her performance a lot.
Me too. I really liked
I think her
her
character was I think her character was very much like two-dimensional.
It was also
she performed very well for what she was doing.
Yeah. I like the whole like band of hippies thing that went on there.
Yeah. I would have liked to know more about like the lore.
Yeah, because it
They
seems
didn't really
pretty
go into
interesting. Yeah.
They gloss over the part I would be interested in, and we're just like, nope, this instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything? Anyway, Kat, anything you want to say you liked about this movie?
I think I would have liked this a lot more had it not been a follow-up of The Shining.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there are very few times where I walk in to watch a horror movie and get genuinely scared.
Yeah.
There are very few movies that genuinely scare me.
Minions.
The Shining does not scare me anymore, but watching The Shining for the first time was genuinely one of the scariest moments of my life because it's just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It's psychotic horror, and I really enjoy that. And there was some psychotic horror in this. I think they went over the top with like a not necessarily gory because I looked away, I didn't see it, but just like a lot of
a scene made her
how do
very
I put
uncomfy.
this?
Yeah.
How do I put this? Quite a few, but like how do I put that? Like it took the best elements of psychotic and like just straight up gore and put it together, and it was just as scary.
Put it in a blender.
So Josh told me about the scene that you're talking about.
Which one? Because I looked away for quite a few.
Baseball boy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he told me about that, and I felt
that was
the exact same way.
traumatizing.
It felt it was rough
More on
me
that,
because
spoilers.
it just felt so
It
real.
did, and I was like it
you
hurt.
forgot about everything else and like
It did. Oh yeah, that one hurt.
But it didn't hurt Josh, but
it didn't hurt Josh, but
like,
Josh is emotionless.
But yeah, anything else you want to say you liked or?
No, I think I just, it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great. And I think that's mostly because it followed such a monumental piece.
Yes, one of Stanley Kubrick's magnum opuses.
Absolutely.
Because he had a few of those.
He did.
I definitely like a lot of the performances in this movie. I think the people who were the flashbacks did a serviceable job. I don't mind that they didn't exactly look like their counterparts.
I do.
As long as I realized who they were, that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But one in particular that I really liked was the, I'm trying to remember the character's name, Old Man Kithers, Scatman.
I really liked that.
He was really good.
That is the one that I will give
I agree.
an absolute,
yes.
He did an amazing job.
Very good.
His name is Dick.
Executive producer
that's
Dick
right.
Wolf.
Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins, y'all.
We love Dick Van Dyke in this house.
I love Dick Van Dyke.
The Dick Van Dyke Show?
I never watched.
Oh my
Watched Andy
God,
Griffith
no.
Show.
Those are not the same at all.
I know, but they're still shows.
They both have show in the name.
And names.
Okay.
I also really dug the first two acts of this movie. Third act, somewhat iffy on. But
I was more okay with the third act than anything, in all honesty.
But I felt the same exact way that you did. Is movie. I don't think a single movie has ever scared me, honestly.
I have very few.
But actually, the third act of this movie did surprisingly scare me a little bit. I was on the edge of my seat for this third act, which has never happened to me in the theater. So.
Oh, I
Props
have
to the
one
movie.
dislike. I have one dislike.
Go for it.
And that is that there is no reappearing furry flashback from The Shining.
I
Y'all
was waiting
remember
on
that
that.
furry?
Actually, I remember that.
It wasn't there.
I was waiting for that.
It wasn't there. I was looking for it. Wasn't there.
But yeah, I also really like the cinematography and visuals of this as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
Very.
I like the
nice.
color palette of this movie, and I think they did
Yeah.
a very good job with it.
Yeah, I think we'll get into more in spoilers, but sometimes they did a really good job of recapturing The Shining, but other times they went too far with it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. But now it's time for our ratings. Who wants to go first? I guess we're looking at Josh. So Josh, I guess it's you.
Because I can't ignore the decent production value, I can't be too harsh.
Yeah.
But because of everything else I dislike, I give it 4 out of 10.
4. All right, that's not the worst review you've given this year. Kat?
I am gonna give this a 7, I think.
Okay.
I'm bouncing back and forth between 6 and 7.
I am okay.
Mostly just because of the flashback scenes. That really took a lot away from the movie for me because it was
Took you
just
out of it?
immediately
My,
like, okay, I'm back in a movie seat and not watching what's happening.
Actually, I will say I liked the plot of this movie, and I liked that for some times I forgot I was watching a sequel to The Shining, and that
Yeah.
was like its own thing for a little bit.
I enjoyed it, like, kind of branching off to be its own thing because I don't
Yeah.
like when a sequel is just a sequel.
Yes, exactly. It's not a cash grab like some things we
It's
see today.
important and it has another thing to add to the story, but it's also its own story.
Yeah.
And they did do a good job with that. I
Yes,
will
they
say.
did. And I think this is tough because it is definitely my favorite Stephen King movie of the year. I think there've been about 3. I just watched them all, and this is definitely my favorite. And I think I rated it Chapter 2 an 8, and I'm willing to put that down to a 7, which means I'm going to rate this one 7 Dr. Phils out of 10. So
Dr. Phil's?
Dr. Phils,
Okay.
because he shaved his stash. If you didn't see,
I
yeah,
didn't.
he did. It was weird.
Let's get to spoilers so we can take a break and I can look at it.
All right. I'll see you guys in spoilers. Thank you. Yeah, so Ewan McGregor did in fact have an affair.
Who cares? Everybody makes mistakes.
Gosh, how recent is this?
I'm just slandering her on the internet.
That is rolling, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's staying in for this extra long episode.
Woo!
Cinema Gibberish.
I got 4
Woo!
days left, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Woo!
We're just gonna run through some of the important spoilers of this particular movie and how it deals into The Shining.
My hair
So,
was very bad. I don't know how to fix this.
strap in.
Oh no.
So, anything in particular you guys want to touch upon, spoiler-wise?
Baseball boy.
Okay,
I want to talk about baseball boy, and I want to talk about it right now.
Holding on,
Hold.
apparently.
Hold on.
You
Because
look like you're on crack or something.
I
Like,
feel like I'm on
baseball
crack.
boy! Let's talk about
I
baseball
feel
boy!
like I'm on crack.
before we get to Baseball Boy,
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Jack Nicholson in the bar.
Okay,
Okay.
the Gold Room, yes.
Yes.
Bad.
There are a couple ways that could have been infinitely better than it was.
Well, before we get to that, I'm going to say I enjoyed it because it pressed with my nostalgic chords. Because not only did they were in the Golden Room and they had the whole sort of bar room scene set up. They used the music, same music too.
Mhm.
I love that music. And the Jack Nicholson portrayal was okay for me. Yes, it could have been better, so let's hear
But
about it.
here's my point, right?
The
So
portrayal
that's
is
that,
what killed it for me. 'cause
that
I liked everything
scene
else.
has so much potential. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first suggestion was obviously digital de-aging, which if the budget is an issue because of my problems with the effects, I can understand if it is.
Mm.
Mhm.
You could have easily gotten Jack Nicholson back to do the audio and then just shown the bartender from the back.
Yeah.
And had the hair from the back just right.
Okay, what does Jack Nicholson sound like now?
About the same.
Really? That's neat.
He looks terrible.
Yes, he does.
Aw.
I was
Sorry,
like, why
Jack.
didn't they have Jack Nicholson? And Josh
And then I
was like,
showed
I'll
her
show
a
you a
picture
picture
of
after.
Jack
And I was like,
Nicholson.
that's why they didn't have Jack Nicholson.
But I feel like,
He's retired though, I'm pretty sure, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
believe
but
so.
that would have made such a huge difference for me. And I, again, am not even really invested.
Yeah.
But that would have made all the difference for me if they just showed him from the back, or like you could show him neck down, like doing the thing with the drink and all that,
Yeah.
and everyone will understand exactly what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it
And
would have
who it is.
and it would have a bigger impact. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I like that. I'm trying to think because that reminds me of other things
Well,
that I've seen.
Like, even from the side, I was like, that's not Jack Nicholson.
Really big forehead.
Very
Yes.
clearly was not Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
to me. And that was what immediately I was like, I'm not invested in this anymore. And I leaned over to Josh and I was like, that is not Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Man, I had some, but you guys keep going because I was thinking of something.
Why do I have my phone?
How come if they feed and eat off of the people that shine, then how are there even still people that shine? I understand that they get them as they pop up, but like
Is
as
shining,
long as they've been around, how many shiners had to be around to sustain them for this long?
well, because remember, everybody shines a little bit.
Right, but if we look at this here in the long run, in the time span that we saw, they couldn't even go like a couple weeks
Yeah.
like without something.
And apparently
was-
one of them's been around since like ancient Roman or Greek
Yeah.
times.
The one, yeah.
Yeah,
The one that dies.
grandpa. And it was weird also because at the beginning we see them take the little girl, and then in the 8 years later, we see them just now using
Getting to the little
girl.
girl.
So like, how has their supply run so short in such a long amount of
Right.
time?
Well, I'd say they probably put the newest in the back, like expiration date thing, maybe.
Listen,
It's
Yeah,
just a
but when
theory.
they get to her, that
A
cabinet
Pixar
is
theory.
so near empty.
here's my theory. Plot. Anyway.
I'm still laughing at my own joke. Keep going.
I don't remember your joke. What was
I
it?
said it's just a theory. A
Okay.
Pixar theory.
Thanks for watching. Okay, yeah, I just remembered, so I don't like how they very well define The Shining, and like, basically it's like a superpower in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, and like,
And they
also,
define
For some
basically
people-
all the hotel stuff too.
Yeah, they define why Jack Nicholson went crazy, and I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I don't either.
I like the fact that
Yeah.
he's just out there alone forever, and he kind of snaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's up to you whether you think the hotel did it, or it was just him being isolated for so long.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, clearly everything, all the hauntings and stuff, like, they were
It's all
part.
explained.
And apparently the lady in the bathtub is like the sort of like the hierarchy or whatever.
Yeah,
or
so
the
that's-
one
Because she's
that's
hierarchy.
room
four.
237.
That's 4 Stephen King movies I've watched where there's a naked old lady.
That's
monster.
exactly what I was thinking of. Like Josh's is,
And I called it too.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, I don't like that they went into such detail with
No.
things and defined everything.
They should have pretty much left the first movie alone.
And then and
But
then-
at least they didn't show a child being mutilated for its steam.
okay, yeah, we'll talk about Baseball Boy. Yeah, very.
Did you watch? Like,
Yeah,
did
I
you
watched.
see what happened?
I
Because I
watched.
did not. I genuinely did not.
It was pretty.
They started
pretty
cutting.
heavy.
She started.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy and dark. This is probably one of the
It was
darkest
very
parts of the
painful.
movie.
Okay, she said I was emotionless. I need to clarify here. That is very dark and it is very disturbing.
Yeah.
It did not affect me.
Because you weren't invested.
Well, and because I look at that as all fictional because the effects are fictional. If I'm watching something, let's take like John Wick for example, isn't violence towards kids. But if someone dies, that seems real to me because the world
Yeah.
is built to feel real. And this world, while The Shining is built to feel very real, this one takes it up a little
Mhm.
weirder a notch. So, like, if they were just like attacking that child, I would not be pleased. But when the steam's coming out and they're all like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, I just like. Here's the thing.
that hurt.
Is it was so realistic in the sense of like hearing the kid.
Yeah, he
That's
was
what-
screaming.
Yeah,
and
props
like-
to that kid. He's a good actor.
He-
He
like-
was actually in a movie this year called Good Boys, which was like a
Oh,
is
the
that
Seth
the Seth Rogen thing?
yes, he was the lead actor.
Oh,
in that
that
movie.
poor kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to see it now.
No, apparently it was kind of good. It was like super bad, but
I don't believe it.
2010s.
I
I
don't
wanna
trust
see
Seth
it.
Rogen.
I
But
love Seth Rogen.
like even before I looked away, like watching the kid as they're pulling him out of the van, and he's
It's
just
very
screaming
creepy.
and begging and crying and begging to be let go.
Yeah.
I was like, this is painful.
Like child abduction, like
Oh,
creepy.
like that. I'm not gonna say it crossed the line because it's fictional, and
Yeah.
and that's not,
And it's rated R.
and it's rated R. But it was just painful.
Yeah.
Like it was very much
And,
realistic and
it's-
traumatizing.
But
Many-
out of all the crappy child actors we've seen and stuff this year,
Yeah.
props
He
to
did
him.
amazing. Casey was reading articles as on the way home because
Yeah.
that's what he does as a person.
Yeah.
Shout
Props
out
to
Casey.
Casey.
You watch these sometimes, and you watch this with us, so you're definitely gonna watch it. I think this was it. He was reading something, and apparently that kid was like the only one that was not affected by the scene. Like all the adults afterwards were like depressed
Dude,
and
that's-
scared, and the kid just laughed.
That's super
And, like-
awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Like the
though.
kid was just like, eh, and the rest of them were like traumatized
You
and
lose your
felt
soul
terrible.
when you work with Seth Rogen.
You do lose your soul when you work with. Oh my gosh, how's Billy Eichner doing? Okay, this is a train wreck.
I didn't realize I was the only Seth Rogen fan on this.
You
Well,
really
slew.
are. You,
I like
you
Green
really.
Hornet.
I haven't
Didn't
seen
you?
Green Hornet.
We talked about Seth Rogen.
I don't know if we
In
touched
Lion
on Seth
King.
Rogen that much on Lion King.
I
We
said-
definitely
We talked about it
Billy Eichner.
enough.
I said that he was passable in terms of other
That's
players.
right.
Yeah.
We're talking about Lion King here again, guys. Part 2. One of our favorite movies of the year.
No.
But yeah, and I just really quick touch on the other part of the baseball boy scene, which Josh told me about your experience with when they had to get his baseball glove so they could find out where they were. Yeah, very.
So they're digging.
I again did not watch.
They're digging. No. So they're digging and they uncover the hand and you look and you go ah and I say don't look. I'll tell you when it's safe and you say
That's where
okay.
I did that.
Then the music jumps and she looks and you can see well it was the shoe first then
yeah,
the
it
hand.
was the shoe, and then I looked at the hand.
And I said, do not look. So then it does it again, but it's the kid's face. And I said, do not look. I swear,
I
it's
didn't
his
see
face.
the kid's face.
You are gonna be
I didn't
very
see
upset.
the kid's face. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very
This
tough.
movie was a lot for me. Like Stephen King has a very good way of using children to create fear
That's, I think, what
in a
works
different
with
way
it so well.
that the usual horror movie does.
I wish Stephen King though would just stay away from all the magical stuff and just make like
Yeah.
real stories, because then those
Well, he
would
does
be,
do that.
He does.
He has
Why don't
so
we make
many
those
books.
movies?
He has so many books.
Yeah, he does. He has
Like 7.
At
Also,
least.
I really want to, just side note, I really want to stay at the Stanley Hotel, which is the hotel that he based
Yeah.
The Shining off of the book.
Bake Overlook, yeah.
The Overlook is directly based from experiences and dreams and drug trips that Stephen King had in the Stanley Hotel in
Yeah.
Colorado, and I want to stay there.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom
so
about it. I want
bad.
to go there a lot. Because they, like, a lot
I
of
want
it
to
is
ghost
still
hunt
there
there,
intact.
like really bad.
People, like, lots of famous ghost hunting shows have
Yeah.
gone there. Don't know if they found anything.
Shane
but-
Dawson went there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching that
Shane
one.
Dawson went there, and then another person that I watched went. I'll send you the videos. They're really good.
Okay. Sorry, Josh.
Shout out Clamingore and Shane
Again, this
Dawson.
isn't going to be an extra long episode.
Josh
for
is
you
so
dedicated
mad.
viewers. You good?
Are we still best friends?
So, though, to describe what Dr. Sleep means, here's Josh.
Great question because they don't do a good job at it. So, one of the Ewan McGregor, who is the little Jack Nicholson's son from The Shining,
Danny.
as an adult, that's his name, Danny, works at I forget the name of the place.
Hospital
it's-
Hospice
thing.
type
It's like
thing.
a, yeah.
Like,
It's like a
old,
home.
old people who are like on their way.
Yeah, and there's
It's like
this
a home.
cat
Yeah.
that goes onto people's beds when they're about to die.
I
And
love the
Ewan
cat.
McGregor
Yeah.
is talking to some guy, and he's like, "You should be called Dr. Sleep,"
Roll credits.
and
Well-
that's all we get.
Yeah, he does. say that, doesn't
So and I think that either Rebecca Ferguson or the blonde girl should be Dr. Sleep because they put people to sleep for real,
he?
Yeah.
or the cat because the cat knows when the
Yeah.
death is coming, but they don't explain that very much at all.
Yeah.
While I don't particularly like the title of this movie, I really like the Dr. Sleep scenes.
Yeah.
They're very touching and very.
And very emotional. Casey and
yeah.
I both cried during one of them.
Because like it's like they took like their
Well, stretch the cord
Casey
with
and I
both of you.
held hands and cried.
yeah, they're very well
Don't
made.
say things like that. Ouch! That one was real. Oh my god. I need to take 5.
Taking 5.
Okay.
Are we rolling again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back from 5. Who knows what we were talking about?
We're good.
But
Everything-
We were talking
good.
about the hospice scenes and how they were emotional.
Yes.
Because you didn't like the title, but you liked the...
scenes in particular,
Yeah.
yes. Also, this girl kills it. I
She-
love the scenes
mhm.
where she basically just messes with Rebecca Ferguson's character.
Where did the wig come from?
The wig?
The blue wig.
Oh yeah, I had no idea.
That
And
one,
she had,
that one
she
was
had
weird.
no eyes and a blue wig.
The wig
Ugh.
was weird, but
She
the
was
rest of it was
Storm.
fine.
She's young Storm from X-Men.
Shut up. Stop
Um,
trying to make fan theories work.
You
Yeah.
quit mentioning Shane Dawson, and I'll quit mentioning
I mentioned him once.
But yeah, I also really dig like all of how like the group of hippies. I'm calling them hippies because that's kind of where they are a little bit.
They live in a
Um,
commune
They're the
of sorts.
anti-shiners.
Yeah,
Shoe shiners.
They're the steamers.
yeah.
Stanley steamers.
Stanley Steamers Service. Regardless, I really dug how they were all played basically by everyone.
Yeah, I thought they were good for the most part.
Cleaners.
I'm gonna dub him Avalanche because I don't know his name, but Avalanche did a good job.
Oh, the one who was thrown through the car window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dug how he was good, and I love to hate him.
And the grandpa was really good.
Yeah,
He's on an
freaky.
episode of Blacklist.
He did very
Yeah.
well.
Is he?
He's
Yeah.
also on an episode of Criminal Minds, I believe.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's from. He was there for me.
Also,
did very
I
well.
think the blonde girl who's young is a young Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, I liked her. I liked her character at the beginning. I was rooting for her at the beginning. And then I was like, shoot her. And then guess what?
I didn't love her because
I like at first her motivations for what she was doing.
I think her entire
But,
motivation is based off of the movie wanting to make a cheap statement that's going to
Yeah.
resonate with an audience.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate it.
I liked.
Because I am part of the audience.
Yeah,
I
I liked-
understand creepy old men. Believe
Yeah.
me, a 40-year-old
I
man
dug,
asked
I
for my
dug
number
that
of
beginning
work.
part. I dug her opening scene, and then like her very last words were like, "Screw all men." I was like, okay, we're pushing things. I don't think that's.
I think they were trying to be like, girls who have
Yeah.
male trauma hate men. And
Yeah.
then she's one of them, and I hated that.
Yeah, and I was like, that doesn't seem real.
I don't have a
Because-
dad. I'm still here, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
there was like a lot of things.
I hang out with these two. Like, ugh.
But again, that
It's not
first
a good
scene of what she
message.
does, how she leaves the mark though, and like does
Yeah.
the whole shining thing where like they have to go
Sleep.
yeah, and then what does she make them do? She makes them tell their wives or something or whatever.
And every time he looks at it, he thinks like he's disgusted or something.
I was like, yeah, I watched. I was like, yeah, that's justice.
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 Yeah.
Dawn of justice. Anyway,
Can we talk about her hat?
Yes. We
Yeah,
can
very
talk about her hat. It's a
steampunky.
cool
I like
hat.
it.
sure.
It's a cool hat.
I will give this scene credit.
Oh, where she's
Yes.
blown back from the.
And then the milks explode.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I was-
everybody in the grocery store is just like,
I was like, man, Abra is powerful.
also,
well, and Abra did some pretty. Like,
There
I
were, like,
liked
I was
the
like-
scenes.
I feel like she pushed it a little bit. I was like, do we really want to hurt these people that much? But Danny didn't
I
have a
liked the
problem with it.
library scene a lot.
That was
like,
good.
not
You know what?
library, but like.
I will give this credit. The Shining Mind battles does a better job than anything that X-Men movies have ever tried to do with Xavier v someone else.
Fair,
Yeah.
like Xavier Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Xavier Apocalypse stuff is garbage.
The whole movie's garbage. What are we
Yes,
talking
but
about?
that stuff, if you compare those mind battle scenes to this, I have to give this credit. It takes it. Because that,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're
even though I'm not
super-
invested, it's well done.
Yes. What else we got here?
I like just the singular concept that like everybody's mind is just like a giant combination of files.
Yeah.
And I liked that Abra's was so tiny, even though she's like 13.
Yeah. I also liked Abra's dad though. He was good.
I
Right?
Well,
enjoyed
he
Abra's
lasted.
dad.
Lasted- I was-
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Took words right out of my mouth.
Mm.
Oh man, I felt
That
so
one hurt
bad
too.
For, yeah, I felt
I
so
didn't
bad.
like it when Meg guy died.
Who?
The Meg.
I've never
guy.
seen Meg, so
Okay.
what is he?
Ewan McGregor's friend.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so sad when he got
That was
left.
painful.
I know, because he was so cool and
And he
nice.
was such a good, like, I didn't buy it for just a second when he believed the guy that they were digging up, when he believed Ewan McGregor that they were just digging up a kid
Yeah.
for another kid.
He
like,
definitely made that scene feel real. Because
But they're both in AA, so they trust each other.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also want to say I really love the whole message of the whole AA thing, and just like
Mhm.
going sober and stuff, and how
Yeah.
Danny wanted to go sober.
Well, and here's the thing: is in the movie you see him struggle
yeah,
being sober
yeah,
while
like,
he's dealing with hard
Danny
things.
has like an alcoholism problem, like his dad, but
Yeah.
unlike his dad, he defeats it. And
Well, and just because he's like sober or whatever doesn't mean when he's going through this kind of
chiz
that he's not tempted to drink, because we see him several times get tempted to drink and
Yes.
then not.
And in your
Exactly.
words, if he drinks that, he's dead to me.
Yeah.
Or if he drinks that, he's lost
He's
the
just-
hotel.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
And
go ahead.
I just like I know several people
Yeah,
in my life that have been addicts that have recovered from that,
yeah,
whether it be alcohol or drugs or gambling,
Yeah.
whatever. I know a lot of people that have had addictions, and I really like that message.
yeah. Some really good underlying messages in this movie.
Some also very bad ones, but some really good ones.
Yeah, a
too.
little.
The head of the AAA was the president of the United States and
Did
National
you just say
Treasure 2.
AAA?
Yes, I did.
What
The head of
movies?
the AAA.
National Treasure 2, the guy who plays the
Oh,
president.
I thought you
and
said
He
I
was.
thought,
kidnapped.
I thought you
He
saying he
was.
was the president of the United States and the president of the National Treasure. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he is the president now.
I don't remember what he looks like. Man, it's been a while. But let's just jump into this third act.
Okay.
Guys, this is probably
let's
the
do
highlight
it.
of it. Because honestly, while watching this, I didn't think they were going to go back to the Overlook
Mhm.
at all. And I didn't really want
I
them
saw
to.
that one coming.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's
I was
the
just
other
hoping
side,
to see a Jack Nicholson popsicle in the background, and we didn't.
so.
Or at least I didn't see
Oh,
it.
that'd be no.
That's what I really wanted.
Yeah,
was to
that'd
see-
be awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to be ticked if Rebecca Ferguson died in the hedge maze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do get to go there. Well, sort of go there in a scene.
Mhm. It's a mind battle.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. Basically, he beat her because he was in The Shining and she wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is also where my biggest problems come into this movie. While I was really excited and loved a lot of the third act of this movie, being in the hotel and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
don't like how they basically fleshed out all the ghosts and everything in the hotel.
Yeah.
And they basically made them all like this eating steam or whatever, like her.
Yeah.
That's what they all were,
Yeah.
apparently.
Because if they were that, why didn't they just kill Danny on sight?
Well, and if
Yeah.
she's dead, how does she have steam?
She's not dead.
Yeah.
They
But
don't get
she
to live
is,
forever,
though.
but they get to live, eat long, eat well. live
Because
long.
the girl was like, am I dead? And she said, do you care about the answer?
She said you were.
So it's weird. It's like I can't.
It's a weird concept.
To the best of my knowledge, from what I understand, is like you sort of die, but you're
But
like,
the ghosts can also eat steam.
They
so
put
you can if you're
weird
dead.
limits
Yeah.
on steam, but also not. And
Yeah.
it was just a weird thing.
didn't really like what happened to Danny. Not the very last thing, but when he
Yeah.
turned into his
Yeah.
dad, basically, and we see what happened to his dad, and it basically explains to you what happens to Jack.
Yep, got possessed by
I
those.
hated that.
Yep, he was, and
Because I don't want to think that what happened in The Shining was just a possession.
yeah, because it definitely takes away from the Shining, the
That
artistic
takes
value.
so
of it.
much away.
I mean, I
from
know
what
how
The
you feel
Shining
about
meant.
Josh.
I
but-
thought it did, and I didn't like The Shining.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Yeah.
thought this is
So much
pretty
away.
cheap and stupid.
But I think it follows up with a pretty satisfying conclusion, in my opinion, when Danny
Mhm.
sacrifices himself to essentially save Abra and destroy
This-
what is
the
seemingly the
Overlook.
biggest evil in this world, which is the Overlook. He sets that thing on fire, blows it up, and dies while holding his mom or something.
Yeah.
But it was very nice, and then he becomes Scatman, essentially.
Yeah. He turns into the type of ghost that Scatman was for him.
Yeah. You guys anything?
A spiritual guide, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, but apparently they can only show up.
A shine guy.
every
And then
so
Abra
often.
puts the old lady in her box.
Yes, because
That's not
yes.
a euphemism.
Except for
No,
the
he
fact that
literally puts her in
Ewan
a box.
McGregor never taught her about the boxes because she asked
No,
what the
she's
boxes
yeah.
were, and
yeah.
he didn't tell her. So how does she know how to do the box?
The best I could say is maybe he told her off screen.
Maybe. But we don't know that.
But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this whole finale to Doctor Sleep and The Shining, essentially?
It made me sad. I didn't really love it just because it gave me answers from The Shining that I didn't need.
Or one, right.
Or one. I was perfectly content with The Shining exactly how it was before the sequel, and I didn't want the sequel to go back and explain anything.
Yeah.
I think that was a big mistake.
Mm.
Because I don't think people want to know. I don't think you watch The
Yeah.
Shining and then afterwards you're like, what happened?
Because, like,
I think you know what happened to you.
I love the whole theories about, like, it's just, like, a whole euphemism or whatever for, like,
Mm-hmm.
the treatment of, like, Native Americans and stuff.
Yeah.
And just really crazy stuff like that. Josh, what do you think?
It was fine. I'm glad that they didn't, like, say, oh, he survived the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just see him fly out and it's
That's what
crappy
Casey thought
CG.
happened for a second.
Yeah, and that would have made me mad.
Yeah.
But
Heroic sacrifice. I thought it was nice.
Yeah. It was what
Um,
needed to happen, but it's not the ideal ending I wanted.
what's your ideal ending?
My ideal ending is with a movie that is not this movie, so.
it's the ending you deserved, but not the one you need right now.
Rachel! I watched the Dark Knight trilogy since the last review we did.
Alright, really quick review of Dark Knight Trilogy. What do you think?
Very good. A+. It gets an A+. Heath Ledger's Joker is also better than Joaquin Phoenix, but Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix
snap.
still did an amazing job.
Oh snap, you hear it here first, folks. Alright, well I think that's gonna do it for our probably hour-long
Yeah.
review of Dr. Sleep.
This felt really
Um,
long.
So much so that we're all falling asleep as we go along.
We are.
I have to drive home.
Me too.
Oh God, I'm parked right behind you. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. It's in the review. But we'll catch you guys next week when we start some special,
Yeah, no say, but in
You
Christmas
don't
time.
say.
some special reviews.
It's Christmas time.
Is
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
time. Merry Christmas.
Christmas is my favorite season of the year, and if either of you ruin it, you're dead to me.
No, you're in safe hands here. We'll see you guys next week, and where can we find us, Josh?
If you're watching this right now, here. We are also on social media at JD Studios 208 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and Snapchat on occasion. There is a second channel in the link of this description
Huh?
that you may want to check out for some interesting things in the near future.
Very fun things.
So that will be in the description below as well. That is JD Stupidos, and I look forward to having some fun on that channel. Chris?
Okay. Drop a bombshell on me like that. All right. And we'll see you next week on JD Studios, and I guess JD Stupidos. What?
Yeah,
Bye.